DIY here with another great review for you. Today we're reviewing the Wnnideo 2-person dome tent. The Wnnideo tent here, I'm going to open it up. It comes in a nice, lightweight polyester bag. 2 clips on the top. Pull out the main tent. It's got it all wrapped up in one bundle. Drawstring right here. Just keep the string to tie it back up together. This looks to be the rain flag portion of the tent, which goes on top of the screens portion. You have the tent poles right here. And your standard quality tent poles. They also give you some standard stakes and guidelines right here. So nothing special on the stakes, but again, it's a value tent, and the guidelines right here are pretty nice. And then you finally have the main tent itself. It has some nice mesh right here, but we're gonna take it outside. We're gonna set it up and take a look at it. So we had a windstorm here last night, and it's still pretty windy today. It's currently 51 degrees. So we're gonna set the Wnnideo 2-person tent up here and go from there. It doesn't have a protector on the bottom of the tent, but it does seem to be really good high quality polyester. 2 poles for the main tent. They have holes on the corners. I'm just gonna put it right in one of those holes. And I'm gonna do the same thing to the opposite corner here. Then on the tent body, they just have some of these clips. I'm gonna clip right along the poles. Just clip the snapper right in. Then we have the other pole. Right here. They're on the side of the tent. So I didn't see any directions, but it's really simple to set up. That's the main tent itself. So on the main tent itself, it's got some nice mesh and ventilation here. I believe that they marketed it as an all seasons tent, but obviously in the winter you're gonna have to get some stuff in there to stay warm. You got one door on the side here. You also have another door on this side here, very big, and with tie back so that you can tie back the doors. The tent itself is really big in the inside. I mean, they market it as a 2-person tent. It's definitely going to give you enough room for 2 people. You might even fit a third, honestly. That's what I'm looking at right now. Got pockets on the sides and everything. All right, let's put the rain fly in. Like most easy setup backpacking tents, you just gonna put the clips in on the corners like that, and then you can adjust it once you have it. It's got the tent all set up. It looks really good. It did take some time setting up for the first time. I wish that they included written directions. It would have made things a little easier, but it's definitely doable. You can definitely figure it out by yourself. All the guidelines are down again because it's really windy out. But this is the main door, and then on the other side, they have a back door. I'm gonna leave the back door closed. I already put some stakes on the bottom there. It also has adjustable vents on each side, so you can have it for circulation if you're in the winter to get some circulation in the tent. And it'll stay out that way, just attaching with Velcro. And you got a lot of room right there. And there's no way that water is going to get in there as long as this thing holds up to weatherproof, which I'm hoping it does. So here's what it looks like inside the tent. I haven't set up everything up, but I have my backpacking backpack here. I have a camping blanket over there. I have a lot of stuff, but look how much room I have. This is amazing. So the tent takes a little bit longer to set up, I think mostly because the directions aren't written out. Here's my 2 ports, one there, one over there. And they do include an S-hook on the top to hang a light from. And again, you have the second door on the other side, so it's easy to get in and out. I'm really liking the design of this tent so far. And that's what I show you that on the bottom of the tent. There's only one real main seam to this tent, and it is sealed right here. So that's nice to see. And just to show you how much room, this is my Trekology Aloof Ultralight sleeping pad. It's my favorite sleeping pad. And it's usually huge. I mean, this is a good probably 6 feet, and you still have room on both sides, there and there. And it only takes up about 1/3 of the tent at most. So this is a big tent. You're gonna be sitting up for a little bit while longer than a typical backpacking tent. You have tons of room because of that. Things about this tent, I'm gonna lay in it for a while, but I gotta be honest with you, it's only 52 degrees out, which is pretty cold for me and Zach. But this tent, I could wear a t-shirt in it and I'm comfortable. I'm in a pair of outdoor hiking pants and a t-shirt. Totally comfortable. The wind's blowing. We have good wind still, and I can't feel it through the tent that much. We have the ventilation ports here and there, and they're working great. Comfortability in the tent is really good. So I can't believe how much room this tent has. If you're a one person, it might take, again, a little bit of extra work to set it all up and everything. I do recommend setting up the tent at home before you start going out. It does take a little learning curve. It's not much, but there's a pole that goes in front of the portico. The guidelines have to be on there, and they have ties for the rain fly to go on the poles. But overall, this tent, it's really good when it's set up. Handles well in wind. I've been in here for a while. The wind's been howling. We had a windstorm, knocked out power, hence why I could do this, because usually I'm teaching right now, but we had the day off because the school lost power today. And it has been just not moving at all with the wind. It's held up great. The other pro is it's got a lot of ventilation if you need it, but you can always close it off. You can't feel the wind come through the tent. You can feel ventilation, but you can't feel the heavy, strong wind come right through and take all the warmth out of the tent, which is good. I've had this open and I feel totally comfortable with my polar blanket and my camping pillow alone. So overall, comfortability really, really high with this tent. It's got some seams that could be sewed a little bit better. It's definitely not an REI tent or anything like that. I would call it a beginner tent because of that very reason. It will hold up to anything. I haven't seen any condensation get through. You have so much space in this tent. It's unbelievable. You have a second person over here and you'll be all set. And you still have room in the middle to put even more stuff. It's easy to get out of, 2 access ports. Stitching right here, it's pretty loose to say the least. Probably the worst part of this tent is just some of the stitching. Other stitching's just fine though. And the way that they have the zippers and everything, it's really easy access out of the tent. It's just that you're buying a budget tent here. This is not a very expensive tent, but it will do the job if you need it. I also wish the tent came with a footprint. I definitely would get a tarp for this. It's not that this is bad material. It's good. It's durable, but I never trust just the bottom of a tent because I want to make them last. I've been in here for a couple hours now, and it's been wicked comfortable. No problems at all. So I'm still liking the tent. I mean, for the amount of money that I paid for this, not bad at all. Portico is really nice to have. I got my sneakers out there right now, but you could stick a lot of things. And even though you're not supposed to cook right in a tent or outside a tent, let's say you have a little camping stove and it's raining out or snowing, you do have enough area right there to cook in a little camping stove. And even though you have the rain fly go almost to the ground, they do seal the corners of the tent. And it is night, but the reason why we're out here is because it rained all day and I left this set up. And I just want to show you, let's get a little lighter here, that the water is beating up. It rained all day, so we had a good amount of water. All right, we just opened up the tent, looking for any signs of water. Any water at all. No, not in that corner, nor on the floor. Let's go in this corner of the tent. No water there. It's totally dry. All right, so it's looking really good right now. Yeah, I do see a little condensation on the side right there, but nothing like puddling on the sides here. And that's where the rain fly is touching the tent. And I don't see any visual water on the bottom, so looks to be pretty good. I'm gonna touch around here where the water is, and it's not even really coming through, honestly. So you will stay dry in this tent, but you will see some watermarks on the side. If you just spray it with some waterproof spray, you're gonna be good to go. Well, we went very extreme with the Wnnideo 2-person backpacking tent. I left this thing up in the yard for almost 2 weeks straight. And let me tell you something, there's no water inside the tent. It went through a windstorm, it went through snow, it went through rain, and it held up great. I didn't have any guidelines on tie or anything like that. So with the supplied stakes, which I'm surprised because I didn't think the stakes were that good, and I would still replace those, but it held up great. There were no problems. The rainfly kept together, nothing wrong with it. So I'm going to tell you right now, this is a durable tent. Pros: held up to 2 weeks of extreme wind, rain, and snow. Guidelines are great. The stakes seem to hold just great. And it's just a great tent. It has lots of space in the middle of it, as we've already shown you. Cons of the Wnnideo 2-person tent: I would say that it has some problems with the sewing and the threads. Nothing that can't be fixed with some thread sealer. 2, you get a little condensation in the tent, but not a lot. It didn't seep through, so it's still a good tent, but I would probably put some waterproofing on it just to make sure on the inner tent that it's going to keep as much water out as possible, even though no water did touch the floor. Third con, I would just say setting it up. Definitely want to practice this before you go out in the wild with it. Came with no directions, but even I made a mistake. This tent rod right here actually goes through this right here, this little pocket. I didn't see that at first. I put it on the inside. So it just goes to show you want to know what you're doing before you go out in the wild and have to set this up for real. The setup time too was a little bit long because of that. But once you got to figure it out, it's pretty good. If you'd like to purchase your own Wnnideo 2-person tent, please look for a link in the description below. We'll send you to Amazon where you can purchase your very own. Every purchase will help support the Eric DIY channel. We appreciate all your support. If you like this video and you want to see more like it, please give us a thumbs up and push that subscribe button below. While you're down there, also push on the bell notification icon so that way you'll be notified of future Eric DIY video releases. We appreciate all your support. Thank you and have a great day. As always, if you like this video, found it useful, please subscribe. And if you have a product that you would like reviewed, please contact Eric by emailing him at eric5150diy@gmail.com. Have a great day.